Hi there. It's raining here in the rainforest. Apparently it remembered to do that this week. So I haven't been able to run around and look at any new fruits for you. However, a few weeks ago, Virginia and I sat down and talked about our top 10 tips for anyone that is looking to go off the grid like we did. This week I'll be guiding you through our rambling conversation. Twists and turns of ADHD fueled nonsense, really.
With fuel of ADHD fuel.
Despite the fact that I hate countdown videos, here's number 10.
Meet your neighbors before you buy a
That
piece of
goes
land.
for anything you're doing. Even if you're gonna rent an apartment, meet your neighbors first. Don't set yourself up for failure if you're gonna have a neighbor who blasts music all night long and you like to go to bed at 9 or vice versa. Just don't do it to yourself.
Then we got wildly off subject, so I'm gonna bring us back to number 9.
If you're thinking of doing this, do not anticipate having a clear mind when you're actually diving in. It's going to be a fog of war situation. Your life is in the air. There's no solid ground below you. You're going to second guess every decision, every choice, every move you make.
But you've got to make them. You've got to make them quick. You know, when you're doing something like tossing your whole life in the fire pit and building something completely new.
Yes, introspective and deep. Let's move on to number 8.
Stagger your crops. Certain varieties of different fruit trees will give you multiple harvests per year, or even though they're the same species, will have a different season for fruiting, particularly things like avocado. You get the right varieties, you can maximize your yield across the year. Approach things with that attitude, you might be able to better cover your entire year's needs worth of nutrition.
Well, that just changes my entire perspective. I don't know about you. I wonder if 7 is going to be as enlightening.
We also made it a point to get the fruit trees in the ground as soon as possible. That's why we have fruit that's bearing now. It's why we have star fruit. It's why we have abiyu. It's why we have the calamansi and
This lovely rainbow eucalyptus
this
right
beautiful rainbow eucalyptus is one of the first things we put in. The jackfruit. We have some ridiculously large jackfruit forming right now. And if we hadn't done that right off the bat, long before we started actually building the house, wouldn't have things that take 3 to 5 years. If your goal is to feed yourself, time matters.
Sounds like the rain's coming back. We better get back to number 6.
The amount of sweat equity just to get a green lawn-like thing was immense.
This is mostly not grass. This is a nitrogen-fixing legume called peanut grass.
As I planted the fruit trees, I would plant peanut grass as a ground cover underneath every fruit tree, and it crawled out. It crawled out from under the fruit trees, and it took over the vast majority of the lawn, much to our pleasure.
Delight. Absolute delight.
I feel like I've learned a lot and we're only halfway through. Moving on to number 5.
We did not buy sight unseen. I did find this land online, sent his happy butt out here to take a look at it. He's my plant guy. I wanted him to look at the land and make sure this was something we could live on successfully, we could plant on, we can have livestock on. So he came out here.
I flew out and stayed for a week, chopped in with the machete.
Got some rain during that time, so saw how the rain was moving.
I feel like my life will never be the same. I don't even know. There's 4 more? There's 4 more? Speechless.
Okay, so now let's talk about budgeting your time and effort.
Oh, there's one.
However much you think it's going to be, double it, and then probably take that and add at least 50%, if not double it again. That's how much longer everything is going to take than you think it's going to take.
I kind of trailed off after she said that last thing, so we're just going to move on to number 3.
We came to an environment that we really had no measurable
Long-term concept of?
Yes, we had come here on vacation for a couple of weeks, a couple of times. That does not prepare you for buying
A complete environmental change.
Yes. Yes.
that is 365 days of the year.
To go from having your standard East Coast yard and garden, however many hundreds of feet of dirt and clay and whatnot, to we live on a lava rock, not an inch, not even 1 inch of soil.
In places, there is no soil.
Yeah, it's just rock.
And in some places, you might have an inch.
Instead of taking a little hand shovel and digging a little hole for your tomatoes start, you have to get a pickaxe and crack through lava rock, which by that point is what we call blue rock.
It's bedrock.
That's what we're standing on right now. That's what we dug on for this house. It's what we contended with when we built our cabin we are currently living in. This is our permanent house. It will also be completely off grid. To make the foundation for this house, we didn't even have to do an entire slab for this house, and it still took 3 weeks of nonstop jackhammering to get down just 2 feet.
It was loud.
Yeah, you could hear it for literally
Miles.
a mile, if not more. Yeah.
I felt sorry for our neighbors.
Sorry.
Well, I think I made some fantastic points there. Let's move on to number 2.
Number 2, you're gonna tend to undersize things.
You think
Yeah.
you can get by with less.
This much.
That's all I need.
When you need this much.
There's only 2 of us.
And then you should have this much. We started with basically 6 golf cart batteries.
They were not golf cart batteries. We started off with 6 wheelchair batteries.
Wheelchair. Okay. We thought we were going to live off of that. We thought we were going to run a TV, laptops, charge our phones. At first, we didn't even think we were going to have a refrigerator. Then we realized quickly we definitely needed a refrigerator. So we tried off of those 6 wheelchair batteries.
We did fine until the refrigerator.
That is illustrating my point. You think you're going to move to this off-grid lifestyle and you're going to make this huge
Be
change.
a minimalist, obviously.
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot of stuff. I don't need a Keurig and a microwave, and I don't need to straighten my hair and this and that. And those things are
And
true.
it's true, you don't.
It just makes for a less happy life. Don't cut yourself down so much in the beginning. Don't expect to go like from 60 to 0 instead of from 0 to 60.
0 to 60?
Yeah. However much you think you need, go bigger, because you're going to save yourself that expense. You're going to end up going bigger anyway.
Man, we're already here at number 1. How the time flies.
For me, number 1, however much money you think anything is going to cost, double it, and then add at least 50% to that.
Rain's let up. Better make a run for it. Thanks for watching, everybody.